Today, we are going to learn how to add mixed numbers with models. Bill has two boards to use to make picture frames. We want to find out what will the total length of the two boards, what is the total length of the two boards, and how much longer is one board than the other. You can use addition to find the total length of the two boards. You can use subtraction to find out how much is longer. One is 1 and 11/12 feet long, and one is 2 and 5/12 feet long. I know that this one is bigger because the whole number is 2, not 1. One way we can do this is using fraction strips. So we can use fraction strips to show 2 and 5/12 plus 1 and 11/12. We're going to add the fractional parts. We have 5/12 and 11/12 equals 16/12. So to get 16/12, you may be confused. All they did was add the fractional parts. So we had 5/12 was the fraction and 11/12 was the fraction, not the whole numbers. So 5/12 plus 11/12 is 16/12. If we take 16/12, we use our trick. We see how many times does 12 go into 16. We know that that answer is 1. We put the same denominator, and we find the difference. So 12 minus 16 is 4. That's how we got 1 and 4/12. So if we look at the fraction strips over here, I'm going to highlight them for you. We have 12/12 on the bottom, plus another 4/12 right here. And if we add those up, 12/12 plus 4/12 is 16/12, just like we did right here. Then you're going to add the whole numbers. So our whole numbers that we have are the 2 and the 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So it says then you're going to add the sum of the whole number parts to the sum of the fractional parts. So we have 3 plus the 1 and 4/12 that we got up here. So our answer is just 4 and 4/12. So 2 and 15/12 plus 1 and 11/12 equals 4 and 4/12. I'm going to do the same problem down here in a little bit of a simpler way so you can understand. If you're watching this video and listening closely, I want you to write the word purple right where I am writing it on your paper. That way I know that you are watching the video all the way through. All right, now let's do the fraction. There may be some more words, so listen closely. We have 1 and 11/12 plus 2 and 5/12. We're going to draw a line, and we're going to do this in our notes, so you're going to understand it. We're going to add our fractional parts. So our fractional parts are not the whole numbers. So we have 11/12 plus 5/12. Well, 11 plus 5 is just 16/12. Now we're going to add our whole numbers. So we have 1 plus 2 is just 3. So we have 3 and 16/12. Now we're just going to fix it. So to fix it, and this is the process I want you to practice using, we're going to draw another line. We're going to write our 3 because that's our whole number, plus, now we're going to use our trick. And we're going to say how many times does 12 go into 16? Well, 12 goes into 16 one time. Write your fraction, and now find the difference. I know 16 minus 12 is 4. So my full answer is going to be 3 plus 1, which is 4 and 4/12. And if I had to reduce it, I know that both numbers are multiples of 4. So 4 is going to be my whole number. If I divide both sides by 4, I'm going to get 1/3. You do not have to reduce all the way today. You just have to find this part of the answer. Now when we look at part C, you can also use a number line. So we can use a number line to show 2/5 minus 1 and 11/5. Sorry, 2 and 5/12 minus 1 and 11/12. We're going to work more on the subtraction in a few days, so don't worry about it so much if you don't understand this part. Here we have a number line, and since 12 is our denominator, from 0 to 1, it is divided into 12 equal parts. And then from 1 to 2, it is also divided into 12 equal parts. And then from 2 on, it is also divided into 12 equal parts. So I find 2 and 5/12, which is right here. Then you're just going to go backwards, 1 and 11/12. Just count them out, and you will end up at 6/12. Let's do the guided practice together. Do you understand? When adding mixed numbers, is it always necessary to rename the fractional sum? Explain. Well, the answer to this is no. You only need to rename it if there is an improper fraction. Please make sure you write it in your notes. All right, we're going to do these problems together. Hopefully you will get it quickly. If not, just remember to try your best and you will get it in the next few days. Number 2. We have 1 and 2/5 plus 2 and 4/5. We're going to draw a line. We're going to always practice drawing lines in between our work to help us separate. All right, so first add your fractional parts. So our fractional parts are 2/5 and 4/5. And so if I add that, 2/5 plus 4/5 is just 6/5. And now add your whole numbers. So for our whole numbers, I have 1 and 2. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So I have 3 and 6/5. I cannot leave it like that because 6/5 is an improper fraction. So for my next step, I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to write my 3, my whole number, plus, now I'm going to use the trick that we did the other day. How many times does 5 go into 6? Well, the answer is 1 whole. Write down your denominator and find the difference. 5 times 1 is 5, so 6 minus 5 is 1. Now I'm going to draw another line, and I'm going to add up my whole numbers. So I have 3 plus 1 is 4, and 1/5, which is my final answer. Let's do number 3. So number 3, I have 1 and 1/4 plus 2 and 3/4. Okay, go ahead and draw your line. We are going to first add our fractional parts. So we have 1/4 plus 3/4. 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4/4, plus our whole numbers, 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 3 and 4/4. So we have 3 plus 4/4 is just 1. So my answer for this one is just 4. Now we're going to subtract. So we have 4 and 2/3 minus 2 and 1/3. You're going to do the same thing. First, subtract your fractional parts. So we have 2/3 minus 1/3. So 2/3 minus 1/3 is just going to be 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1/3. Now subtract your whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2, and that's it. Sometimes you will end up with a weird number like this, though. Let's look at number 5. If you're listening, and I know you're listening, I want you to draw a little star just like I am right next to the word how. Okay, I'm going to move on. So we have 4 and 1/4 minus 3 and 3/4. Here is where we come to a problem. We cannot take 3 from 1. So we need to do this one differently. So for this one, we're going to draw a number line. I'm going to divide each, since 4 is my denominators, I'm going to divide the number line into sections of 4 with whole numbers. So I've got 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. This is 4/4 or 1 whole. Then I have 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 1 4/4, which is the same as the number 2. Then we're going to divide the next one into 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be a 3. And then we've got the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be a 4. And then we have to do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to extend my line. And this would be a 5. So 4 1/4 would be right here. Okay, if I'm going to put it on the number line. And I'm going to subtract 3 3/4. This is also where it might get tricky. I know that 3 wholes would be 12 over 4 plus my 3/4 that I have. So I'm going to end up with 15/4. So I have to subtract 15 lines. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to end up right here. And if I look at this one, this was my 0, so I end up with 2/4. We are going to have plenty of notes, so use your notes to help you. Go ahead and do the rest of the problems on this page. Draw number lines if needed. Then come show me your work.